Well, it's been a lot of fun to be able to jump into this role as quickly as it happened, and with 2 days right before training camp started, you're kind of like drinking out of a fire hose a little bit, but it's been a blast. I've tried to hit the ground running and develop this relationship with the players as fast as I can and learn the scheme and learn what we're doing, but it's been awesome. It's been a really easy transition because of our staff, just an overwhelming amount of just support from just our offensive staff, from Coach Raiola to Coach Satt to Coach McGuire, to operations, to nutrition, to Corey in the weight room. I mean, our entire organization. I mean, as soon as it happened, they just reached out and have been awesome and try to help me however much they can. And we talk about a brotherhood all the time with our players, but the brotherhood with our coaching staff is just as strong, and it's been awesome. I couldn't have done it without them, so it's been a lot of fun so far, though.
Josh, is there any stop or any situation in your coaching background that prepared you well to go from being an analyst to a full-time position coach 1 week before the game's over?
Yeah, so actually this is not the first time that this has happened before. So back in 2015, I was a grad assistant at Arizona State, and we had a coaching turnover like 2 weeks into training camp, and so I transitioned from being an offensive line GA to being thrown into the tight end room. I was named the running back coach, but I actually coached the tight ends that year, and so who'd have thought 8 years later something similar happened. So your experiences prepare you for the present moment, for the future, and so when this happened, it wasn't the first time that it happened in my career, and so I was able to take a deep breath, say, okay, you've done this before, and you've had some you've been able to coach the position for a long time, and so it was natural for me to be able to step back into that role. So
you were named running backs coach, but actually,
yeah, so we just kind of switched some guys around a little bit. Yep, so I was named the running back coach, but we just end up and we kind of flipped it there, and we didn't want to mess up kind of two rooms, so that's the way it just kind of worked out. So yep.
A lot of the players said that your message to them was you didn't have to get ready because you stayed ready. What did that look like for you? What does that look like for you?
Well, I had a good relationship with those guys. I mean, I'm a tight end guy, but that's that's my favorite position, and it's a position I've always enjoyed coaching. You get to do everything, right, from the run game to the pass game to pass protections. You're just involved in everything. It's similar to coaching quarterbacks, and so I'd always try to develop a relationship with those guys, and a lot of the tight ends as well. They play a lot on special teams, and so I was able to really have a good relationship with those guys before, and would always just kind of talk to them, and every time we're an individual, whatever, with Coach Full, I'd kind of look over there and just kind of see how those guys were doing. Always try to check in with Bork and Tommy and Eric and all those guys, and then just Coach McGuire and I are really, really close, and so we spent a lot of time talking football, and so just trying to continue to to learn the scheme as much as I can, and whatever I could do leading up to this point to help our team, I was willing to do, and so my goal was to try to learn our scheme offensively, defensively, and as well as special teams. So
going from being kind of in the background to now it's your room, have you made any operation changes at all, or
I don't really know exactly how it was run before. It's kind of just plug in and just kind of play. We obviously everybody has their own unique style of how they teach and how they kind of install and coach and all that stuff, and so but we try to use one voice, and so the terminology in the pass game and the terminology in the run game and all those things, the way we call things and stuff, so really just trying to learn all that. It's not like I'm coming in with a whole brand new set of I called this block this and this it's whatever's been used in the past, like I'm learning that and I learned that, and that's what we've kind of continued to do. The way I teach the route concepts, the way I teach everything is the same as how Garrett teaches the stuff in the receiver room, and the exact same way that Donnie teaches stuff in the line room. So from that standpoint, I think it's all kind of been it's been similar. Really.
Since he took over, how far have you seen Thomas Madoni? He's healthy now. What have you seen out of him over the past couple weeks?
I've been proud of Thomas. The thing about Thomas that obviously he's got great size, he's got great length, he can run. He's really athletic, freak athlete. What I don't know what people truly know about him is how much he loves football, and how much how he really he's really, really hard on himself, but he's a constant seeker of knowledge. He's a perfectionist, and sometimes hey, you made a bad play, you got to move on, right? You got to you have to move on, like, what's next mentality, like we say all the time with our players. And but I've been really, really proud of Thomas and his progression on the field, and then just in the film room. I mean, he's always just constantly, hey coach, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And he's constantly trying to improve. And that's the same with a lot of these guys. With Nate Bork's just the same way. A lot of those guys. Jake Applegate, Luke Lindenmeyer, all those guys in that room are just constant seekers of knowledge. And they want to know, like, okay, I want feedback. I want to know what I can do better. I want to know what did I do well, but then how can I improve even if I did well. So I've been really impressed with those guys. It's a really fun group to coach.
You're going to describe your path to Nebraska. You had the high school season last year.
Yep.
And how did that all kind of come about?
So yeah, kind of a crazy story. So. We kind of finished up at SMU, and I had some opportunities at some other places, but I wanted to stay. I'm from Dallas, and wanted to be close with my family and stuff, and I had some opportunities elsewhere that I didn't really want to do, and so I had an opportunity to high school. A guy by the name of Joe Castillo was the head coach at Little Elm High School. Was a really, really close friend, a really good mentor to me, and gave me an opportunity. Didn't know him very well, but gave me an opportunity. But I always knew I wanted to get back into into college football, and I had a few opportunities that I thought was going to happen, back in December, when the coaching carousel kind of started and stuff, and that I thought were going to happen, and things kind of fell through. And I said, the next opportunity I get, I don't care where it is, what it is, I'm gonna take it. And then when Coach Rule called, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer, and I didn't care what it was. I was like, hey, this is the job, and I was like, man, I can't be more excited to be here. Actually, kind of funny story. So. Back in, I don't even know if I told Coach this. So this is like 2001. I was in the 7th grade. Okay, and I'd never been to Nebraska in my life, right? But Dad was a high school football coach, and Saturday afternoons, Saturday evenings, like we're watching the Huskers. That's how it was. Growing up in the 90s, and when I was in the 7th grade, I was going to 7th grade practice, first practice, full pads, and the night before, I put on I take a white cotton T-shirt, and I write black shirts on the front of it, and I draw the skull and crossbones, and go out and practice. We're at Allen, Texas, and go and put the pads on the next day, and I sweat all through the shirt, right? And I have this black marker all through my shirt, and I saw it from from my neck all the way down to my waist. That marker had kind of had rubbed off on me and whatnot, and but I came home. My mom's like thought I was all bruised up for my first day of full pads or whatever. But Nebraska's a special place, and that just goes to show you of what at 12, 13 years old, what this place meant to me, and to be able to have an opportunity here, I'm incredibly grateful and incredibly humble.
How do you feel about the role of tight ends in Coach Satt's offense?
Well, it's an awesome role. If you want to play in the National Football League, this is the place to play tight end. To be able to come here, we do a lot of different things with these guys. The things that they're going to do at the next level, you're going to do everything, right? You're going to play in line. You're going to play in the backfield. You're going to play, you're going to play in the slot. You're going to play out wide, singled up. You're going to do everything. And so, and the verbiage is very similar to what you would see at the NFL level. And so, to be able to come here and for recruits and anybody to be able to come and play here, this is a special place to play tight end. It's a really special place.
Josh, what was the key thing you wanted to get across, generally speaking, to recruits too, when there was this transition? What did you want to get across to them right away? Maybe calls, curves, or anything like that?
The biggest thing was just like, hey, everything's fine. We're plug and play. The train's staying on track. And this place is so much bigger than me, right? The people that chose the kids that have chosen to play here, they're choosing it because they love Nebraska, right? Because because of how Coach Rule is and how the program and how the players are, and so it's not about one person. It's about our entire team. And so I'm just calming them down. Hey, everything's fine, everything's good. But everybody I talk to, like, shoot, we're ready to go, Coach. So it didn't matter who it was. They're excited.
How do you balance the special teams part too? Because I know you're heavily involved with that.
Yep.
How does that work?
Well, it's actually been really good. I think I was kind of joking with Coach Foley a little bit. I said, you don't really have anybody to do as much of the busy work anymore. But I said we're able to split guys up. We're able to get a lot more reps because now I can actually coach. And so I'll take half of a unit. He'll take half of a unit, or take a full unit. He'll take a full unit, and we're able to split it up, and we're able to double our reps now. So from that perspective, it's actually kind of been a blessing. So we're able to get a lot more reps and rep a lot of the young guys on punt, because it isn't this next guy up, right? There's injuries that happen, and throughout the course of a year, it's a long season, and so those guys, young guys, are going to be able to, to be ready to play, and they're getting a lot of valuable reps that they may not have been able to get before. So it's been good.
Josh, when you were at SMU,
That's a great question. One of the biggest things I've learned was, the simplicity of it, and to be able to, to make the routine play. And that's one thing I talk about with guys all the time is you make the routine play. And you don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to go out and do something, way above. Just go be yourself, do your job, make the routine play. And I think some of as innovative as maybe some of those offenses are, they're boring in a sense of there's not a whole lot of fluff to it. It's just, do your job and execute at a high level, but we're plugging in and playing here, and this is a very innovative offense here. You know what I mean? What we're doing, and so this is an unbelievable place to play offensive football.